Was your site hit by Panda or maybe the penguin? Either way, one of those black and furry little critters coming at you? Well, check out this episode. We've got some great advice for you.
It's time for Pick the Brain.
Pick the Brain is your chance to ask Mike and Troy any of your burning SEO or internet marketing or business development questions that you have, and let us, one-on-one, give you some good candid advice. If you want to submit questions, you can go to askmikeandtroy.com and key in your question, and we'll feature you on one of our new segments. So today, our Pick the Brain question comes in from Tom J. in Cleveland. And Tom says, am I better off creating a new site or investing more in recovery of my existing site? I've been hit by Panda pretty hard, and I'm not really sure what my best strategy is.
And to answer that, the answer is it depends. Considering we're at the end of the year, and you say you've been hit by Panda, and a lot of people say they've been hit by Panda, and they've been actually hit by Penguin, or maybe a combination of both. Without actually knowing what your website is, it's tough to say exactly, but I can tell you this. Regardless if it was Panda or Penguin, if you were penalized and you were ranking before, and we are now coming upon the end of 2012 and you still haven't recovered, I would say chances are you probably are better off creating a brand new site for many of the reasons that we kind of discussed earlier, that, you know, when you create a brand new site, sites are ranking a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot faster, and if you purchase an age domain, you can even get a little bit of a head start in that. Additionally, I would say check out our Google Hell webinar if you have not. At topmarketingstrategies.com, you'll find a link for it, and that will we discuss a few strategies in there about recovering from penalties. But building a new site is something that I would recommend doing.
As Mike said, there's really a couple different options, and I want to approach it a little bit different, a little bit more pragmatic from just a business standpoint. If you've got a site and it's been hammered and you're losing income that you used to or were accustomed to earning off of that site, then you really have to ask yourself this question. What are you going to bet on? Are you going to bet on recovering that site, or are you going to bet on creating a new site and getting rankings with it? Well, I can tell you what I would do. I'm a hedge your bet kind of guy. So I'm going to create a new site, and I'm not going to give up on the old site right away. I'm going to go ahead and create a new site and put probably 70% of my effort into that, because I'm worried, especially at this point in the year, if it's been, like Mike said, going on and now we're at the end of the year and you're still having trouble in recovery, then I would be probably putting about 75 or 70% of my effort into that new site. But I probably would not necessarily give up in my old site as well, if it was a money-making site. And that's really the critical question here, because if the site was making you a solid income, then you want to give it some more time. But if that site was just something you were trying out and only made you a few $100s, etc., then you're probably better off just abandoning it at this point and going with a new site. So hopefully that answers your question. And if you have a question that you'd like to ask Mike and Troy, just go to askmikeandtroy.com, and perhaps you'll be featured on the next Pick the Brain episode in the weeks to come. Mike and Troy's Top Marketing Strategies podcast, because we all need a little help sometimes. Check out the blog or the podcast at the link below, ctcbiz.com/TMS. See you soon.